All right, our last topic, talking point for this week. All right, this is one that touches us all very seriously, and this is SARU having concluded their Springbok coach review process, but they don't want to tell us what is the outcome of it. Who does that, first of all? Why would you announce that you have concluded the process without telling us what is going to happen next? Why?
I feel like the SARU has been watching one too many reality shows. They believe that this is a whole, and they're now trying to show this off as ooh, wait till the next episode. This is Dragon Ball Z.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
They're treating us like we're watching Dragon Ball Z, and this is real life stuff that affects real people. But the other thing is, I want to first of all know what Alistair Coetzee has done, who's his witch doctor, because clearly he has some powerful stuff happening that we've never seen that has somehow got him this job.
I really don't know. Yeah, maybe he deserves to get the job in the first place. I don't know. However, based on what happened last year, I don't know how he's still there.
He used to be a man and quit.
And even if...
Well, funny enough, there was another article saying that Alistair needs to grow a set of balls. That was titled.
But even
funny you mentioned that.
Be a man.
Be a man. But even if, they needed to go through the formal process, I understand that. This should have been done last year. This should have been done. We should already know whether there's a new coach or Alistair Coetzee is staying. Because if there's a new coach, he's got a very short time to actually start getting the Springboks ready, because they needed a lot of practice.
That was the
based on
same
what
thing that
happened
Alistair
last
had.
year. Yeah.
I actually think that Alistair will keep his job, and that what is happening here is just SARU trying to, paint this image that things are happening behind the scenes, steps are being taken, just so that the public can kind of look at them and be like, okay, no, they're doing stuff about this. I just think they're taking the public for a ruse and trying to not get severe public outcry about what's happening. But this could also set them up for quite a backlash if they now come out and they say Alistair's staying for whatever reasons, and if those reasons are not proper reasons, I think people are going to flip out.
I don't know that. I don't think there are proper reasons. He has the worst record. The season last year was horrendous. Lost to Italy, lost at home to Ireland for the first time
ever.
I think
nearly lost that series as well.
Here's the honest reason: SARU's in debt. Paying out a 4-year contract is
13 million.
Why is there
not worth it?
Why is there not a performance clause in this guy's contract?
This is actually our labor laws. We hinder that from happening. Otherwise, the US people just get fired all willy-nilly. But he's not going anywhere because of that. But they can't publicly say that, because that's it's a position of weakness. I read lots of mafia books. It's all about being in a position of strength.
All right.
They've got to be. That's the big problem, and their sponsors are refusing to help them out. And so they currently have to, unless you're willing to dole out 19 million and give it to the SARU.
I think it was 13 million.
No, it was the contract, then 19 million debt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the contract's 13 million. Okay, the first question should be how the hell is SARU in debt? But I think we can...
We all know the SARU.
We can, yeah. All right, okay, all right. The other thing is, right, so it kind of seemed to me that they wanted to get rid of Alistair, but the reason they couldn't do that is to say, they don't have the money to pay out the rest of his contract. Cool, fair enough.
Which is quite a high contract if you do the maths.
If you don't have money, then you can't do anything. And then I was reading a comment way back when all of this was starting, and someone said, well, why don't we just crowdfund his payout? We put up a thing,
Kickstarter.
People, like Kickstarter, and be like, all right, sorry, us as the public who should be more empowered in this process, because we are the reason that SARU in the first place are existing, because if we don't go support the matches and bring the revenue for them, then they won't have anything to even run. So someone's like,
it's an interesting concept, but I know I wouldn't be paying to that fund. I feel like us buying jerseys, us going to the games, us watching on TV is generating them enough revenue to do their job. So I'm not going to bail out SARU to fire a coach. That's their problem. They need to sort this out. And I feel like if whatever they need to do, they need to get rid of Alistair Coetzee and hire a new coach. I would like to see an international coach, but I know that won't happen. That's
I
a
don't
pipe
think
dream.
it's gonna
That's
happen, yeah.
like South African rugby is too arrogant to admit that there's better coaches abroad.
Well, let's put it this way. South African rugby is too amateurish
I think,
to admit what is the right course forward.
and this is where I must say the Six Nations countries should be a learning point for us. They realize that their coaches were not up to standard. I think it's 4 New Zealand coaches and 1 Australian, and then 1 French coach. That is, they realize.
The French are like us.
Yeah.
They're like us.
Even
They don't
though
want
things
anyone
go
who's
bad,
not French. Yeah.
But like those 4 teams have improved so dramatically.
Yeah.
And are we gonna? We had John Mitchell begging us.
Yeah.
We didn't take him. We've had. I think before he went to England, Eddie Jones was probably keen on taking South Africa.
Yeah. Definitely.
And we probably had this great coaches just sitting around. There's Robbie Deans who hasn't done anything for like 2 years. There's amazing coaches out there who are way better than what we have right now, and we need them to be in. But will they? But the other problem is they come in, they're not gonna get the freedom that they would get somewhere else.
That is another problem that
So-
the coach that would come in has to face. And yes, we do understand why that has come about, why it's a thing, and that's why I probably think that an international coach won't be able to actually bring the best out of the Springboks than what they could if they had total freedom. I mean, all a coach really wants to do is come in, do the best possible job you can do. If you think this is the right way forward, being told no is going to have an effect on you. And that is a problem an international coach would have because they don't come from the background or fully understand, the environment that South African rugby currently is. And that will be difficult for them.
I mean-
How does the coach overcome that then from an international standpoint?
Thinking about it, actually forgot about this. The perfect person for this would actually be John Plumtree. He's worked within the South African system. He knows the players. He knows how systems work. As a Sharks fan, I've seen him clearly do really well, and then some idiot fired him who I will not name. So it was a former legend.
Former.
And then
Can't revoke his legend
as a player, but not as an administrator. But he knew how things worked, and look what he's done with the Hurricanes as an assistant coach there. So imagine if he comes back to SA Rugby, he could really do an amazing job.
No, I think I like John Plumtree. He's a good coach.
I think he could have done it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for me, I think the issue with the Bok coach is that they never it's terrible. Kutsia wasn't given enough time. He should have known he was coach a long time before he got the job.
Mm-hmm.
And the new coach, whoever it is, if there is a new one, also should have known by now already. And that already puts you on the back foot. You should already be in communication with the Super Rugby teams, discussing a way forward. How are you going to select? How are you going to improve the players? What's the plan? It doesn't seem like there's a plan, and that was clearly on display last year.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's a plan at the top either.
Yeah.
And that is the big problem here. It's the whole structure is almost non-existent. There's nothing to guide South African rugby forward. That is what it looks like to me.
I mean, starting from SARU, this current CEO is suspected of having stolen money when he was at Stellenbosch. And so there's a lot of just corrupt people at the top there that need to go. So in fact, before even Alistair, we have the entire SARU board that just needs to disappear. And will they be man enough and step down? No.
Nah.
Oh man, money talks, man. Who wants to
And-
let go of all that money?
Okay. And the weird thing is, I know that obviously these guys have influence in the industry and over the media, but that isn't spoken about enough within the media, or the fact that the SARU board themselves are a problem, and that we're not seeing the financials for the last 5 or 6 years to see where this money is going and how they got to 19 million rand debt.
That needs to be released. I feel like financial information should be public knowledge. I feel like that them keeping it private, just it's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about that, to be honest.
You're an accountant, you know this. This is
Not an accountant. Studying towards being an accountant.
Come on, no one would have known, eh?
you say it now today, maybe one day. You gotta maybe you'll be on counting for the SARU.
Man is confident in his own abilities. Eh?
confident in you.
I think with next week we can probably go into more depth with the SARU situation, and given that Super Rugby is going to start as well, and how that falls on the SARU and so on. But we'll discuss that in more depth next week.
If you had to pick a coach right now, like, who would you pick?
And I could get him in.
No, yeah, you could get him. Like, okay, let's make one local and one international.
Honestly, I wanted Eddie. I would have wanted Eddie.
Eddie's.
I would have wanted
But
Eddie.
we don't have England money.
He was there by the Stormers, like we could have just pulled him in, but no, I would have wanted Eddie. A local coach, I do believe what Johan Ackerman is doing is great, but in all honesty, I actually would not want him to move away from the Lions yet. I think he needs to stay there longer. So a local coach might. I don't know of any other local coach that I think is up to standard.
Dick Muir.
You're right.
Remember, he was laying foundations with Johan and
my pick.
and then beforehand. So he's the only one who I could reliably play with running rugby. And he did the same at Sharks. We had him playing running rugby. He's the only person who we could trust to do that. Whether he still wants to coach, because I don't know where he is at the moment, is another story.
My choice, Johan Ackerman. I think what he's done with the Lions is incredible. Locally, Johan Ackerman. I
do think he's the best locally. Yeah.
I understand why I would also like him to stay with the Lions, being a Lions fan. But I think he could step up to the Springboks. Internationally, I think John Mitchell, but he's got a good job in the US at the moment. So
Paying well.
Yeah.
But I think with John Mitchell, South Africa, he just seems to rub South African players up the wrong way. And that's why Plumtree had never had any issues with the players. He had issues with he had issue with the former player.
Yeah.
Who fired him.
But John Mitchell, like, I know that, but 4 years he can put the structures in. Then you bring in Johan Ackerman after the World Cup, player manager. I think
He might not even make it to the World Cup. I mean, like, just in general.
We've
like-
already qualified, bro.
No, I'm talking about him not making it to the World Cup. Because when he was coaching New Zealand, they hated him, the players. And like, he's not a good person, but he's a great coach.
Yeah, his structures and stuff, very good.
He's not a good person. If you can put someone in between him, like a counselor, maybe.
A counselor. You're looking for a job, Kai?
Yeah. I can just help the team through this.
Like, listen, guys, come talk to me. If you have any problems.
No, just
What did Coach Mitchell do to you today?
'Cause I feel like that's what happened. And I know players who did play underneath them, and they're just like, we learned a lot of stuff, but we were in a lot of pain, a lot of.
Yeah, but I understand that's not really a long-term solution. But short-term, I think it would set our structures in place, and that's why I would go there. However, long-term, I'm definitely not a fan of the abusive manager. I think management is the way forward. Like, you have to understand the people that you're working with, and I think Johan Ackerman does that well.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Lions came to a decision, and that's why their game is this way, is because they discussed it. And anyway.
I do think Ackerman definitely, probably the next cycle or the one after that, will be SA coach. I do think so.
I mean, looking at up-and-coming coaches, I mean, besides Johan Ackerman, I gotta say, Nolis Murray is definitely coming up, and he seems to have changed things a lot at the
Free State Cheetahs.
Sorry, wrong guy.
Yeah, that's their fly-off. I'm just waiting.
No, that's Neil Murray. No, who's the guy? The Bulls coach.
Oh, and
He's
also
really-
there's
The one who did the Curry Cup. He did a really good job.
Yeah,
and
but
him and
he-
up-and-coming coaches who we need to develop and make sure that they.
I think that's part of the problem is we don't really have that many up-and-coming coaches coming in through, and that's the problem with South African rugby structure at the moment.
I think we do have an up-and-coming coach, and this is going to come from a very Glenwood point of view.
No, but he's good. He's shown it. You
Is-
don't need to put it that way.
Is a guy called Sean Erasmus, who's currently the head of rugby at Paul Boys, who've been undefeated for 3 years, which we all know in high school rugby is basically impossible.
Yeah.
And yet he's gotten absolutely no offers for higher.
I know. I do think, from what I heard, the Stormers were trying to get him into their setup, but what I was told is that his wife just kindly asked him if he would just finish up at Paul until their son finishes up primary school or something. I'm not too sure. I heard it from like an inside source. You know, so
We can't state who our sources are.
you know.
My source did not want to be named.
I mean, let me not name any sources.
He may have made a personal phone call, but he's not going to say who.
Hey, I'm not telling.
Secret sauce.
Yeah. And on that, I think we can definitely talk more about coaches and the whole coaching setup thing. at a later topic. And yeah, that wraps up our 5 talking points for this week on the Weekly Short On. Right, guys.
Cheerio, chaps.